how do we go to a convention and they pick somebody that can't beat Hillary? I mean, you know, it's great to be the nominee, but I think our whole purpose is to win an election.
John Kasich campaigning in New York this week, insisting he's not going anywhere. The latest delegate count, however, has Kasich in last place, way behind Donald Trump and Ted Cruz, and even Marco Rubio is not even in the race anymore. So what is the plan for the Ohio governor? Trent Duffy, National Communications Advisor, spokesman for the Kasich team, and with me now. Trent, good morning to you, and thank you for trying to clear this up. What is the plan?
Well, the plan, Bill, good morning, is for him to keep going and to get those delegates. I mean, this race now, we learned, is going to go to an open convention, and that's the first step in making sure that Donald Trump is not the nominee, which would be a disaster for the Republican Party. And now that the map turns to the Northeast and to the Mid-Atlantic, and into places like Connecticut and Delaware and Maryland, Pennsylvania. That's where Kasich can get some delegates. He's in New York today, as you noted out. And then we're going to go to an open convention, and then the delegates will decide who is best to represent the party and to beat Hillary Clinton. National polls show that he's the best.
We've got the numbers from Quinnipiac in Pennsylvania. We'll put it on the screen right now. Three-way split right now. Kasich trails at 24%, but again, as you state, the rules in Pennsylvania would open up the possibility for him to get some delegates in Pennsylvania at the end of April. They also did a cross-reference to support your argument, Kasich against Hillary Clinton, as opposed to Trump and Ted Cruz. Top line to viewers at home, Kasich's the only one that beats her. Next screen, Kasich. Top line against Bernie Sanders. He again is the only one who beats Bernie Sanders. So then, if that's the case, why can't he beat Trump and Cruz in these state battles?
Well, we've got 2 weeks to make that argument to the voters of Pennsylvania and the voters in all these other states. There's still 16 states to go. There's about 3 more months to go until we get to Cleveland. So the governor's going to have a chance to make that argument, as well as continue to show his great record of accomplishment in Ohio. But when you get down to this, I mean, you're right. That top line is amazing. It's 16 points in a state like Pennsylvania. The same poll shows that no candidate has won the general election without winning two of 3 states, Ohio, Florida, and Pennsylvania, and Kasich is the only one that can do that, and that really matters to delegates who are going to be gathering in Cleveland.
Right. What also matters to them is winning, as you point out, but he's only won his home state. Now, when was the last time you spoke with him? Was it yesterday?
Yeah, we talked yesterday.
Okay,
yes.
Now what did he tell you about his state of mind or strategy today, knowing that he was shut out on the delegate math in Wisconsin?
It's the same as it was yesterday. He's still very confident about his path forward. Our delegate activities are picking up. Our fundraising is picking up. And sure, we would like to do it better in Wisconsin, but he's campaigning hard in New York, and he's going to continue on to his state where he grew up in Pennsylvania. So he's optimistic, and he knows that this is going to be an open convention. That was always the way for him to get the nomination. So that's what's happening, and we're going to see where the trail goes from here.
So speak to Ted Cruz or Donald Trump, who you know have been banging on Governor Kasich because they believe he is in the way. To them, you say what then?
Well, I would say that their unfavorables are on par, if not worse, than Hillary Clinton's. And in a general election, you cannot win with unfavorable negative ratings, which are stratospheric. You can't win when 3 out of 4 women view you negatively in the case of Donald Trump. And in the other case, I mean, Senator Cruz had a good night, no question about it. But in a lot of delegates are waking up this morning saying, okay, we may be able to dodge the Trump frying pan, but now we're kind of in the Cruz frying pan because he can't win a general election either. So we have a lot of weeks to go. We have a lot of states to go. And the conversation's continuing.
Mathematically, you cannot get there. So
that's right.
Just
Neither
to be clear,
can Trump or Cruz.
Well,
that's right.
Well, Trump can. Cruz, very, very outside shot based on the map right now. But Trump can do it.
Trump could, Bill, but that's only based on the fact that if Kasich were just to bow out and give Trump the free pass, because this really does become a congressional district, a fight for delegates, and a contest. Sure.
Right, but my point, and the last point is this, is that he's playing for a second or third ballot possibility in Cleveland, right? And as it stands right now, that's not changing for Kasich, correct?
Well, then my point back to you, Bill, is all 3 candidates are going to be on the second or third ballot because no candidate is going to reach that 1237, and you have to get a majority of the delegates at the convention to be the nominee. That's the ironclad rule.
Well, that's
no candidate is going to do that on the first ballot, and so there is going to be a second or third ballot.
Thank you, Trent. Trent Duffy there in Washington, 12:30.